Everybody, and welcome to Portraits of Atlanta, the only podcast where you get to learn about your neighbors and what makes our communities great. I'm your host, Chris Lazarus, here with Berkey Rodriguez at Sellect Realty.
Hi.
And we've got an amazing guest today. We are lucky enough to be joined by Bobby Nunez. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And you are the mission pastor for His House Mission in Cartersville.
That's correct.
Well, welcome to Portraits of Atlanta. It's great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
Born and raised in the Bronx, New York, and it wouldn't have taken long for you to realize I wasn't from around here.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
not too far away.
not too far,
Same
but
part
I'm a
of-
Yankee fan, so let's not go there.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that.
I mean, it's
can't-
about C.
Yeah.
But I was born and raised in the Bronx. Came down to lived in Connecticut for a little while when I was starting our family, and married to an awesome woman named Lisa. There's that old saying: behind every great man, there's a great woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Well, hi, Lisa. Hope
Yeah.
you're listening.
Yeah, I'm absolutely nothing without her. But so we lived in Connecticut for a little while. Then we moved down here to Georgia about 15 years ago, almost 16 years ago. And really it was about my kids. It was about what I would do for my kids, and not be at work all the time like my dad was, So yeah, I came down here to Georgia, and I'll tell you, it was the best decision I ever made. And speaking of realty, it was Sellect Realty. It was definitely a place to come and buy a house.
Yeah, well, when you're talking about different regions, like the taxes here, a little less.
And you get a lot more for your money.
Yeah.
And you do. You get a bigger home. You get less taxes.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I don't know what Boston's like. I'm going to assume it's like New
Old
York.
homes, lots of money in taxes.
Taxes are crazy. And
Yeah.
I lived 60 minutes outside of New York in Connecticut, and I still was, $6,000-7,000 a year, and that was low.
So I grew up in the country. So I was in Berkeley, Massachusetts, about 45 minutes south of Boston.
Okay.
More cows than people.
Right.
So, but still, taxes there, outrageous. Like the house I grew up in was a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, Cape Cod.
Yeah.
The garage had a breezeway attached in it, so
Right.
it wasn't even like an attached garage.
Right.
You don't have breezeways down here.
Yeah, you don't.
No, but that house now is worth $450,000, and it's like 1,800 square feet. Like, you get so much more down here.
It's true. I mean, my home in Connecticut was 1,180 square feet, really small, on the
They're
corner.
modest.
Corner of a busy street. There was a light on the corner, and I sold that 15 years ago for almost $300,000.
Yeah.
That it was.
Well, you can live the millionaire status down here.
Absolutely, no doubt.
I mean, if you want to feel like a millionaire, but you're not one,
Yeah.
there's lots of bang for the buck with homes here.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you're in Cartersville now? Is that where?
Well, so the ministry serves a specific area called the Atco area in Cartersville, and it's kind of off of Cassville Road. So we have some properties there. We own a few duplexes there off of Cassville Road. And we are actually attempting to open a storefront here. Hopefully, first of the year, we'll be able to do that. And we might talk a little bit more about that, because that is really about community and how it will serve the community. So it'll have a lot of things for the community in it.
And we definitely want to focus on that. That's going to be a big
Right.
part of the show after the break when we get back. So where are you currently residing? You moved out here. Where did you choose
so
to
we
live?
moved down here. We live in Ackworth.
Oh, great.
So I'm not sure where Berkey is, but you're in Ackworth also.
I'm in Ackworth as well.
Yeah.
I love Ackworth.
Yeah,
Lived there for 2.5 years.
A little disappointed about it's really changing quickly. I mean, quickly. Growth is unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
So
It's definitely up and coming.
yeah, and it's losing that kind of little town feel a little bit,
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking around. I'm saying, here it's happening,
Yeah, we're watching the Main Street kind of development happen in like Ball Ground now. So
Right.
it's really moving north.
Right.
But my favorite place in Ackworth, like I love vinyl records. And if I want to go get vinyl, like Ackworth has the best place around it, Albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
My
right
brother
downtown.
loves that place when
Oh,
he
it's
comes
great.
here. My brother's a big time.
Is he?
he was waiting all those years because look, I'm a '70s guy, so all the years of all the albums that he had, I got rid of all mine. I was not very smart, so he's got all of his albums, thousands of them.
Wow.
And vinyl's making a big comeback. So
it really is, and I think it's because a lot of people, especially my generation, it was all tape and CD.
Yeah.
But now all the tape and CD players, like, they're dead.
Yeah.
And CDs get scratched, and it's
Yes.
just hard to keep track of it. So if you want something that's not digital, you've got to go vinyl.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
And I knew nothing about digital, right? I mean, for me, digital, I was like, what?
I mean, it's just you pay $15 a month for Spotify or
You're right.
account, and you've
Right.
got everything under
That's
the
true.
sun. So
It's true.
it's just a matter of what you feel like listening to. But if you really want a collection,
Yeah.
the vinyl's the only way to go. So you're in Ackworth. What are some of the things, like, when you're not working? Where can we find you? What are you doing?
So honestly, if you find my girls, you'll find me. I'm father of two beautiful girls. One's actually about to be 18 in a couple of weeks, and the other one's going to be 15 in a couple of weeks. And I really can't believe that when I say that that happened like that.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody out there, it happens fast. Pay attention because
I'll
it
have to take
happens.
that to heart.
It happens really fast. It seems like yesterday. And my oldest one is going to be going to Mississippi State come next fall. So yeah, we're excited. I'm saying that, but I'm not really excited. I wish she would just stay home. But so really, any place that my girls are is where I'll be. So I'm really just a family guy. I just love being with my family, love being with my wife, and just all of us hanging out, being home and doing things like that. But we will, a lot of times we'll be in the community. We're serving the community, whatever that looks like.
Okay.
Whatever that looks like. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are some of the things that you love about Ackworth? I know you mentioned the small town feel.
Definitely love that small town feel. And look, so we know I'm a mission pastor. I came here. I was not in ministry when I came here 15 years ago.
Really?
I was.
What were you doing?
I was born. I was born into a field of welding and ironwork and
Really?
pipe fit. That's what I was for 30 years. Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
I worked for Con Edison in New York. I worked for the power company for 20 years before moving here. And really, when we're talking about ministry, we are talking about community involvement. And God really just flipped the script on me completely. I came here not expecting any of that. Really knew I wanted something different.
Mm-hmm.
Knew something different was going to happen in my life, and I wanted to do something different for my girls. Again, it comes back to that family. And I got here, and I went to my first Christian church service look, we're from the north. We're Catholic.
Yeah, we've got Dunkin' Donuts. down here, they've got Baptist churches.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I went to my first non-denominational Christian church service, I was done. The guy that was up there preaching was a guy just like me, you know, and I was like, wow, this is really a lot different than I had ever seen. So it wasn't long after that I started seminary and Bible college and kind of did this kind of crash course, very accelerated, got through in a couple of years, and they brought me on staff, and I was an outreach pastor. Within a couple of years, I was an outreach pastor, and that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I'm telling you.
So,
Kid from the Bronx never played.
And you mentioned that you were a motorcycle biker.
Yeah,
so
I was a guy that loved to ride motorcycles. I still like to go fast. I drive a Challenger. It's it's bad.
So from
old habits die hard.
From a motorcycle riding welder to
New Yorker.
To a southern
preacher. Outreach minister. That's fantastic. What a 360 degree change.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It is. It's awesome.
Well, awesome. As soon as we're going to take a break right now, as soon as we get back, we will talk a little bit more about the work that you're doing in the community. And then we're going to have our speed round after that. I'm so excited. I can't wait to throw some random questions at you. Okay. We'll be right back.
Portraits of Atlanta is sponsored by Sellect Realty. Sellect Realty is proud to present Honest Offers. Honest Offers is more than just an instant cash offer on your home. We let you know how much you profit when you sell by owner, traditionally, or a cash offer. With Honest Offers, you'll know which selling method is right for you, the way you want to sell. We're revolutionizing home sales with Honest Offers. Contact us at 770-509-0265 or go to selectrealty.com with 2 L's in the word sell.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Portraits of Atlanta. We're here again with Bobby Nunez and Berkey Rodriguez over at Sellect Realty, and we are so excited to have you here, Bobby. You're doing some great work in the community, and we learned a little bit about you in the first half. Now we want to kind of dive into what you're doing. So the name of the mission, it's His Hands Mission?
His house.
His House Mission,
Yeah.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about how that works.
So His House Mission was kind of designed to meet people that are in transition. The homeless community, and I never refer to anybody as a homeless person. They are somebody living in homelessness. That situation shouldn't define people. So we try very hard not to define them by their circumstances.
Yeah. Well, dignity is a big part.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. So most don't really want to hand out. They want to hand up. And so that's what this is really all about. And so shelters, they're emergency by nature. Mm-hmm. So they are very short-lived. So if a family gets into a shelter, they're there for 30, 45 days max. There's a few that do some different things. There's one in Cartersville, actually, Good Neighbor Homeless Shelter. They do amazing stuff, and they have different programs. So they're one of a few that do that kind of thing.
But when a family comes into a shelter, 30 days is not enough time.
No,
it's
it
just
really isn't.
not. So a lot of times it's just this vicious cycle, and the system is really not designed to help somebody out.
So once they're there for 45 days, they have to leave, and then
And
where
that's
do
the
they go from
problem.
there?
And they end up right back out on the street. They're homeless again. So they get a reprieve, and generally you'll see people come in, and I've worked at numerous shelters to learn, what it was that I had to do to try and attack this, right? So when we say poverty alleviation, that's a monumental task, right?
Yeah.
So, but we have to count to one. We have to learn the power of one. So we have to just figure out how we're going to meet a community and say, okay, this is where we're going to work. So that was for us to transition those that, they got a job, they're working. It might be at Dunkin' Donuts, it might be at McDonald's, but they're trying. They're doing their best to get there. And generally in a shelter, they've gotten 1-2 paychecks and they're out. So we want to say, hey, we want to meet you where you are, and we want to get you in an apartment. If our properties are available, you come and stay with us. Mm-hmm. And we want to help you get back on your feet, and that means food, clothing, employment services, and that's what we are trying to open that storefront that I mentioned earlier, and that's what that storefront will have. It'll have food, it'll have clothing, it'll have employment services, counseling, whatever. One-stop shop. Come to us. We want to help you get your life back.
So you mentioned that you have properties. So you're really helping them in the transition. You're giving them a place to live.
We're
Tell us
giving
how
them a
that
place to
works.
live, and so the we have 2 duplexes right now, and they're full that fast. I'll tell you what, if we had 100 of those, they'd be full tomorrow.
Wow.
That's how bad the situation is. So saying so we can't just say, okay, we can't help, we're full now, so we don't say that. We will find them a place. We will find an apartment.
Can you imagine there are families that are on the street because they simply don't have a security deposit in first and last month?
That's crazy. Is that so?
That's first and last month of security deposit. They can't get a place.
That doesn't surprise me, because there was a study done a couple of years ago that said if somebody gets an unexpected $500 bill, like 50% of America is going to be in financial trouble.
Right. So imagine, first and last month in security deposit, and you're in realty, so that could be a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, easily, especially now.
$2,000-$3,000 should not put a family on the street.
Yeah.
Not in this country, not with especially here. We're in the South. We're in the buckle of the Bible Belt. All of us are believers. There's so many of us that say we want to do something to help. There's a way. There's a way. Let's just do it. I don't know. There's so many things that get in our way, and most of the time it's us.
Yeah.
So if we just get out of the way and just start doing it, I think we can. I think we can make a difference.
And that's massive, and that's one of the reasons why this year Sellect Realty, we joined Give Back Homes, which is a partner with Habitat, and they also work to build homes,
Right.
kind of like it's founded by the people that worked for Tom's Shoes. So buy one,
awesome.
give one.
Yeah.
So now it's a similar thing. They're bringing it into real estate, and we're one of the first 1,000 brokerages in the U.S. to join them. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah,
That's fantastic.
it's a good program, and it's important to give back. And that, I mean, because housing, I wouldn't even think of the security deposit.
Yeah, just that should not be a reason. So, and for us, so we have a lot of differences in how we approach this, right? So,
Yeah. Some
people think we're crazy, really. Honestly, if I had to be honest, people like you're not going to be able to continue or exist or maintain because our philosophy is we give as long as we have.
Yeah.
So if we have it, we're going to give it. So there's no benevolence policy.
Okay.
That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Think about what I just said. Benevolence policy. Benevolence means an act of kindness.
Yeah.
How can there be a policy governing an act of kindness?
This is how our kindness
Right?
works here.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
we want to kind of pull that policy out of the way. And so there's very little policy for us.
Okay.
We are governed by God's word, and we just want to help. If you can imagine the first century church, they literally, if you look at the
Words in the book of Acts, it actually says that people sold their homes, sold their possessions, brought the money to the disciples, and they gave it to the people that had need. Wow. What if we just tried to live a little bit like that? That's actual community.
It really is, and that's I absolutely love that. I have one client whose name I can't name,
Right.
But they've built, and now they're at the point in their lives where they're liquidating,
Yeah.
and I'm helping them liquidate.
Yeah.
And when they sold their first home with me, 100% of the proceeds went to charity.
Right. That's
And
great.
it's just amazing when you come across people like that,
Yeah.
that they know, right? It's there's more to life than just collecting, right?
Right.
You can't take it
Can't
with
take it with us, right?
So I think that's
It's really amazing when you hear stories about this, and I'm super surprised about your comment you made a moment ago, which is if you had 100 homes, they'd be full tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what is the homeless situation like in the Cartersville area?
so.
There
There's an interesting thing that they do, and I'm sorry to finish
No,
your
you're
comment. Your
you're
statement.
fine. There was an article the other day that New York had a program where they were relocating people
Right.
to different parts of the country.
Yeah.
They specifically named Ackworth.
Really?
Yeah.
And the Ackworth has a very, very small, almost non-existent homeless community, believe it or not, which is why actually we went outside to serve because there wasn't a whole lot right there in Ackworth. Good thing.
Made sense.
Yeah. So
You go where the need is.
Right, exactly. But the problem is, and again, that system
I talked about, if you can believe the way they count, they just go out and count, right? So they literally have no real high-tech way. That's exactly people like me, and I've done it a number of years.
kind of surveying.
Just go out into the woods, looking at tent cities and places like that, and those that will actually talk to you can count. That's the only way we know. So really the numbers, when HUD takes a look at it, right, when the government takes a look at what is the homeless situation,
It's really just
they
that,
can
yes.
really they can play with those numbers and make them look really, really different. You know?
Gotcha.
And we don't know. They don't really know. You only know those that were letting you know,
Yeah,
right?
because if they're good at hiding,
Exactly.
you're never going to count them.
Right, and we don't
know
know.
what we don't know.
Well, that's the
Right.
true in anything, right?
Yeah, right.
So, Bobby, what is it that you are working on right now? We're approaching the holidays. It's the end of 2019
Glad you asked.
while we're recording this.
Yeah, well, we got an audience, right? So,
Yeah.
and I will tell you, we just monumental task, right? And I actually had a video of Rita Hawkins, and she doesn't mind me saying her name. I did a video and put it on Facebook, so she's okay. She went on video, so
Right.
but we relocated her to Michigan.
Okay.
She was there before. She moved here for work, and I think it was actually realty. But whatever happened with her situation, it got really bad. She has a 10-year-old daughter who has severe medical special needs.
Mm-hmm.
She's in and out of the hospital all the time, so she couldn't work. She couldn't work. So they sold her home on the steps of the courthouse. She right out from under her. So
Yeah.
she lost her home, lost everything. So again, why should that define her family, right? So we can't judge that. We don't know why that happened. I do, because I know her, right? So we kind of stepped in and we said, okay. And I'm telling you, this was she has 6 kids, right? So it was a monumental task. What are we going to do?
Jeez.
So again, I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, now I know what I didn't know,
Yeah.
right? And you almost don't want to know, because you can't turn your back. So how are we going to address this? And we really, for me, God put this woman in Michigan that said, you know what, I'm alone, and I have a home. They can come and stay with me as long as and she knows them. She's known Rita since she's 17 years old. And she was a woman that used to drive Rita to church all the time.
Oh, wow.
And she stepped up and said, you know what, come and stay with me as long as you have to. And now somebody can take care of Amari, her daughter, while she goes to work, which is, she didn't have that here, you know. So we relocated her, but we still have her container full of her belongings that we have to ship down there. We still have her car that we have to ship down there. So just a lot of cost involved. So, you know, anybody that wants to help with that specific situation, you can go on our Facebook page and you can see the story where I talked with Rita. And again, we're raising funds to try and get all that stuff down there. You know, it was an expensive task, but again, when it came to us, there was not a second where I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, we can't help. Wait, I can't do that." So I'm going to figure it out. You know, so I knew at that moment that we had enough money in our bank that we could cover the cost. So okay, we're going to do it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Now it just comes down to logistics with something like that.
So with this, maybe, you know, they'll see our link. They can go on our website. They can donate. They can help with Rita and getting, you know, the rest of their things down there.
Awesome. So what's the big goal? You mentioned that you want a storefront.
Yeah, the
right?
big goal is the storefront. Absolutely, storefront. It is the place we're talking about is about a quarter mile away from our properties off of Cartersville Road, and we're raising. You know, we need to have 6 months rent up front so that we can defray some costs when we do that. When we have that much up front, and it secures our financials, you know. So, and
you
you
wanna make
in
sure
realty,
yeah.
you know, right?
Yeah,
so
you got to make sure, like,
Right.
if you put it up, you know, money talks.
right. So, and that's the bottom line. So it's gonna help us to secure the financials for that storefront. So, saying that, we're raising the funds so that we can do this. We have a storage unit where we take clothing, we take furniture, we take it all, so that we can, when somebody comes, generally, if they're in transition, they have nothing. They've lost everything.
Yeah.
So we supply. We have furniture that people have donated. So we fill their new house with furniture, their new apartment with furniture, whatever it is. So that storefront, that will be that kind of mission central, if you will. So it'll be a place where people can go and say, "Hey, I need help."
Well, that's awesome. I think everything that you're doing and everybody that's working with you in the ministry sounds like you're doing fantastic work in the community.
I appreciate that.
I want to thank you for that.
I appreciate that.
And we're going to take a break. As soon as we get back, we're going to do our speed round. Put you on the
lightning
hot. We're going to put you on the hot seat. We're going to ask you a bunch of random questions that you have not seen before. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Portraits of Atlanta is sponsored by Sellect Realty. Sellect Realty is proud to present Honest Offers. Honest Offers is more than just an instant cash offer on your home. We let you know how much you profit when you sell by owner, traditionally, or a cash offer. With Honest Offers, you'll know which selling method is right for you, the way you want to sell. We're revolutionizing home sales with Honest Offers. Contact us at 770-509-0265 or go to selectrealty.com with 2 L's in the word sell.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Portraits of Atlanta. We're at a very fun time because we're about to put Bobby Nunez, pastor at his house mission in Cartersville, Georgia, and we're about to put him on the hot seat and ask him a bunch of random questions.
Are you ready?
Are you ready, Bobby?
Not sure. I'm not
All right.
sure.
And go.
What's your favorite way to spend a weekend?
Definitely with my family. Go to church on Sunday. Family.
What music are you into?
Ooh, well, right now, if you go in my car,
I'm listening to a station called First Wave, and it's all like the English invasion back in the 70s and 80s.
Hey, best vacation you ever took and why?
Best vacation was my honeymoon to Hawaii with my wife. That's obvious.
Okay. The next place on your travel bucket list and why?
Say that again?
The next place you want to travel to.
Oh man, Holy Land. I want to go to Jerusalem and just see where Jesus walked.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's a big bucket list item for me.
What hobbies are you into?
Definitely music, and I play drums. I did for years. My daughter is an up and coming musician and theater actor, so anything I can do with her, playing. We have a little studio in my home, so yeah, playing music.
Timer's up. You just made it.
I just got beeped.
There we go. Bobby, thank you so much for coming into the Sellect Realty studio and spending
Thanks for
some
having
time with us. If people want to get in touch with you and help, how are they going to find you?
So they can go hishousemission.org. They can leave any comment they want on the website. They can go to our Facebook page. Again, His House Mission on our Facebook page. You can send anything that way. That's probably the best way to get me is through Facebook.
Awesome.
I'm constantly on there. So.
Well, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another episode of Portraits of Atlanta. Please like, share, and comment. If you know anybody that might be a great guest on our show, please let us know. You can visit portraitsofatlanta.com. We'll see you later.
Bye.
bye.